Helldivers 2 landed on mostly negative on Steam yet again. But why? The way I see it, there are several key reasons behind this, and that is what I will be going over in this video. Without further ado, let's begin. Reason 1. Balance. No matter what good change we get, there has to be a bad change to accompany it. To give you an example, primary weapons get buffed 20%, but so does enemy health. Primary weapon armor pen increases, but so does enemy's armor rating. A specific armor piece gets an armor stat buff, but so does the enemy get a damage buff, making all other armor significantly more difficult to use as a result of this change. And so on and so forth. And people are getting tired of it. Justifiably so. Here are just some excerpts from the reviews that I found. There is this constant monkey's paw approach to every change. Anytime something feels good, it immediately comes with a trade-off that makes the overall experience worse. Something gets stronger, but the enemies get stronger too. A weapon becomes viable, but something else gets gutted to compensate. It feels like you're afraid to let the game be fun without pulling it back. Stop nerfing things that are fun and buffing enemies for no freaking reason. Keep this game fun and stop ruining it. The constant cursed monkey's paw patches has made this game a frustrating mess. They skipped over making a game for everyone, it's just a game for no one. Devs seem scared that the enemy NPCs will leave the game if the players keep having fun and winning. Now, this last review that I read here isn't directly tied to the game balance, but more so indirectly, although it does tie into a point I will make later in the video, so that is why I brought it up here. And it is also a bit too funny to not include because it's just straight facts, honestly. Reason 2. Bad communication. Every time the game gets a review bombed, the developers release a statement that goes something like this: "We heard your complaints and we're working on it. The next update will be everything you dreamed of and more. We're so back." And then the update releases and almost nothing the players complained about has been addressed. Or, if it has, it also came with a bunch of negative changes, as discussed in the previous point. Players are not stupid, and there is a finite number of times before they will just give up on you. Reason number 3. New content, or lack thereof. The game is in dire need of new free content. All new content from recent months has been, for the most part, locked behind premium war bonds. And just like with many other things, people are getting sick of having to pay about 10 euros or more, depending on whether it's a premium or a legendary war bond, every other month just to experience a tad bit of new content. This is also a paid game, by the way. That is especially concerning considering the development of these war bonds completely overshadows the development of the game itself. So we have bugs that have persisted in the game for years at this point, equipment that is completely unusable and forgotten by the developers, all in favor of new shiny war bonds, and an idea for a game that simply does not work, which the developers refuse to correct. Here I will quote yet another review. "Instead of fixing long-standing issues, you keep pushing out war bonds, while core systems remain broken, and those same war bonds from over 2 years ago are still full price with no meaningful adjustment. That's not support, that's stagnation." Reason 4. Tactical grunt fantasy. The folks at Arrowhead tried their best to make a tactical shooter where you're nothing but a cannon fodder for Super Earth, but somehow managed to make an extremely successful, fun and enjoyable horde shooter. Now they either don't really know how to exploit that success, or they're mad that the game didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. And now they're doing everything in their power to make a tactical grunt fantasy out of the game, despite nobody in the player base actually wanting that. And this is the part where the aforementioned review, I'll show it on screen as well now, shines perfectly. Reason 5. The Galactic War is kind of scripted. I can't be the only one who feels like the Galactic War simply lost its charm. Most major orders just don't really lead to anything anymore. And those that do oddly feel like they're heavily influenced by the developers to go one way or the other. I don't know about you, but the main reason I started playing Helldivers 2, back a few months ago, I think it's a little over a year now, was because of the Galactic War. I just found the idea that we can all as a player base get together and work towards something, and then have those results of our work shown in how the story progresses. I just found it extremely appealing, and it's such a shame that now I frankly don't really even care what is going on in the Galactic War, I just play the game because I like shooting things. Here is yet another review excerpt that I found. The live war, which is supposedly the core identity of the game, barely feels alive anymore. And I genuinely share that sentiment. Don't get me wrong, I love role-playing as Super Elite, but it can only get you so far when the other returns are, frankly put, diminishing. And finally, a little bonus reason, which is the community. Like a lot of other games, Helldivers 2 has a very specific, but also very vocal, subset of loyalists who will defend the developers no matter how stupid their decisions are as part of the Helldiver lore, or Helldiver chaos. And they will actively go out of their way to attack and gaslight anyone who doesn't agree with them, claiming all critics of the game are egotists who don't like dying/losing. This is especially problematic because then any feedback the developers might consider listening to just get completely covered under the avalanche of, quote, skill issue, lower the difficulty, and get good comments. Basically the lowest denominator. This is never good for any game, and especially not a game where the developers are already prone to dismiss very valid feedback, as Arrowhead seemingly is. Here are also some cutouts of these comments that I'm talking about, and there are plenty of others, but this should get the point across. And now, the conclusion. Overall, I think these are the key points that lead to Helldivers 2 getting review bombed on a regular basis every couple of months. Obviously there are more factors to it, and not all of these are always at fault, but this video should at the very least compile some critical issues that need immediate addressing from the developers if Helldivers 2 is to see a bright future again.